What is up, guys? This past month I have been driving my hero. This has been the VW Polo GTI, and my oh my, do I have quite a number of things to say. So, today, of course, we will be speaking about my time with my long termer, which I've been very grateful for, from VW. Spending the past month, I think I must have done about close to 5,000 kilometers in this car, and it's been absolutely amazing. So, first things first, taking delivery of this car. I've spent some time before in the Polo GTI, and it was a great car to spend with over a week. But the purpose of this test specifically over the period of a month was obviously then to see how it fares on a day-to-day basis, actually living with the car. And I mean, first things first, I do need to state that this is a GTI. So, of course, being a GTI, one does need to always remember that you aren't expecting the same characteristics or the same sort of things from the GTI as you would from the normal Polo TSI. You get what I mean? So that's always something that I had to keep at the back of my mind, and something that I want you as the viewer to keep in their mind as well. So, of course, this GTI uses the same engine as its older sibling, the Golf GTI, and it's got the 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, the E8888 as it is codenamed. So, in this application, it produces 147 kilowatts and 320 newton meters of torque, and it is paired to a 6-speed DSG transmission. So, in this application in Apollo, it's plentiful. I mean, this car, it zips around town like nobody's business. I mean, yeah, no, it is quick. It is quick, trust me. I mean, you put into sport and traction off, and you floor it, and those front tires will be singing. So, of course, being a very small package with that engine then does make it quite enjoyable to drive in and around town. I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. I stay in Pretoria, and yeah, no, I think, yeah. A lot of people have been seeing this car out and about. I've been getting a lot of messages of people saying that they've seen me out and about and whatever the case may be. So, yeah, and I mean, it's also quite a really, really, really good looking car. I mean, guys, get bum jive. Like, there's just no arguing that this car is absolutely stunning from every angle that you look at it from, especially in this white color with these rims that this unit has. I mean, oh my goodness. This is like, yeah, like it's that car. If you're thinking about a typical person who, comes across a bit of money and, they want something playful, something nice and fun, they would generally go for a Polo GTI, if not a Golf GTI. So this car does mean quite a lot to people. The GTI badge means quite a lot to people in South Africa in general. I mean, South Africans are very big on GTIs. So the past month has been quite exceptional, spending time with this car. I mean, I've spent a lot of money at the petrol station. I mean, engine must be, yeah, they must have made, yeah, quite a lot of money from me. I don't want to count how much I've spent on this car, but yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. So, this car can be quite fuel efficient though if you drive it properly. I mean, I I was averaging for the most of the month, I mean, about 8.5, 8.6 liters to the 100. And that's my long term average, which, if you ask me, is actually not too bad. But I recently took this car down to Cape Town on a road trip to and from Cape Town, and that was an amazing trip. I mean, we must have done about over 3,500 kilometers probably on the return trip. And driving down most of the way, I was averaging something like 5.3 liters to the 100, which is remarkable. So you pop this car into eco, You're literally coasting whenever you can coast, and this car can really be fuel efficient. But of course, if you pop it into sport mode, then it does come alive, and that's where you start to see a bit more of a higher consumption. But then again, why are you buying a GTI if consumption is going to be a concern of yours? So again, those are some of the things that you need to keep at the back of your mind. So I also managed to take this car for a service, and that was also quite cool to see. I took it to the VW Hatfield dealership in Pretoria, and I must say, exceptional service. Get it? Pun? Anyone? I mean, those guys, the service there, the customer service is immaculate. I mean, I must say, very top service. I mean, even from the process of booking the car in, I mean, I got on a call, called the dealership, couple of minutes, and the car was booked in. I think I called on a Friday, and I got a slot for the following day, Saturday. And I arrived at the dealership at around 8 a.m. and I must have left the dealership by like 11:12, which, if you ask me, is quite great. And the only thing that took long was actually the car wash. The service itself was very quick. It was very quick. I mean, it was an oil change. They checked that there's nothing wrong with, they plugged in the computer to the car to see that there's nothing wrong internally with the car. Oil change, checked all the tire pressures, made sure everything else is good, and that's it. Like, it was really quick and painless. And of course, when you buy this car, you do get a 3-year, 45,000 kilometer service plan, which I did get roasted for on X, because people seem to think that this car should have a better service plan or something. But I mean, come on, come on. But yeah, so the customer service was extremely great. So you do have that peace of mind for the first 3 years of your ownership, and if you want, you can also extend the service plan. So yeah, you can literally service this car until literally. So that's also really quite cool to see. So you are covered in that sense. And then of course, I want to speak about the trip to Cape Town. So driving down was obviously quite nice, very scenic route, especially in the Western Cape. But the fact that this car could take 2 people's luggage quite nicely, I mean, it's not the biggest car, if I'm honest, but if you're traveling with 2 people, you can get away with fitting all of your luggage for a weekend away. So that's also quite cool. The drive back up was also quite effortless. The consumption on the way back up was about 6.3, but still 6.3 liters in a GTI. I mean, guys, that's not bad at all if you ask me. So yeah, the GTI is a really good and versatile car. So there are a number of things that I'm not too impressed with. Firstly being the fact that the spec. So in this specific unit, I don't have a reverse camera, which, if you ask me, is a bit weird. And I've been struggling to understand why you would need to spec a reverse camera. Another thing is you've got rear collision stopping, so that system where the car will slam the brakes if it thinks that you're about to bump something at the back. Maybe that's a sort of, I don't know, a way to make up for not having a reversing camera. I don't know, but yeah, but you do have front and rear sensors at least, so that's also quite cool. There isn't adaptive cruise control in this specific unit. I'm not too mad at that because I prefer to drive manually myself. I don't actually use those systems too often, so I'm not mad at that. Of course, panoramic sunroof. It's not a GTI if it doesn't have a pan roof. So yeah, my only concern really was actually with the reversing camera. I mean, the spec is actually pretty decent if you ask me, but some of the other stuff that I'm not too happy about are how jerky the transmission can be. And I haven't been able to pinpoint as to why that is the case. So, but I think it happens mostly in the mornings when the car is still cold. The transmission can be very jerky, so you'll be reversing out of your house, and as soon as you put into drive and you sort of step on the gas pedal, the accelerator, it's very very jerky, like it's not sure what it's trying to do, and it's very unsettling, and I don't necessarily like it too much. So yeah, that's another thing that I haven't been too happy about. What I do like though is the brakes. The brakes are very firm. You tap them lightly and the car is already stopping. Like, that's a really cool thing. The seats as well are really really nice, especially when you're driving in and around town. Not so much on a long road trip because my body was aching on the drive down to Cape Town. I mean, I swapped driving seats with my co-driver at some point, and I tried taking a nap from the passenger seat, and my body was painful, and it was saying, nope, we are not doing this. So that's also something to keep in mind, that on long road trips, you may struggle a bit. And of course, being a GTI, the suspension is a bit firmer. So, of course, yeah, you do feel all the bumps. Even in town, I mean, you do feel all the bumps. But again, coming back to my point, keep in mind that this is a GTI. So you can't expect TSI comfort levels. Ooh, hear that? So yeah, but I've popped it into sport, and yeah, she goes. She goes. That has been my favorite thing to do this whole month. Yep, that's it. That is why you buy a GTI. You don't buy no GTI to be complaining about fuel consumption. What is fuel consumption? You buy a GTI because it's a vrpa, you know? And in as much as this one doesn't necessarily vrpa that much, you do get somewhat of a very pleasing oral. Damn. You do get a very pleasing exhaust note from the rear. I mean, it's got those two tailpipes, of course, and yeah, it sounds pretty good. Ooh, fruity. This guy's looking at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? Ooh. Don't try this at home, kids. GTI, Palm Drive, school bag Samushimani, gin tonic and ice. Nah, Oaks, this car is amazing. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'm going to miss this car so much. So, pricing, before I get too carried away. This car, as standard, comes in at 560,000 Rand, more or less. And I think it's well justified. I mean, keep in mind, there is no rival for this car in South Africa. There's no Fiesta ST, there is no Renault Clio RS. I mean, this car is on its own. So keep in mind that this is the only car in this segment that you can buy. So, I mean, for me, it's like whatever VW is going to ask in terms of pricing, it's going to be, it's like take it or leave it, because you can't go and buy anything else. And that could be a bad thing, it could be a good thing. For me, I don't mind, because, I mean, this car is really amazing to drive. It's a great package, so I think it's well justified. I mean, the fun that I've had in this car, like, words cannot comprehend. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's well justified. Obviously, you're going to spend a bit more on some options, but I mean, guys, it's a GTI. And I mean, why not? Just do it, bro. Just do it. Just do it. Those downshifts. I mean, guys, I've had police, metro police, pull me over and say, "Yo, Mahlangu, this car of yours." Yeah, it's a GTI, papa. So, yeah, guys, that's the pricing. and there is no competition. It's in a league of its own, quite literally. So this is on the screen right now how much it will cost you on a month-to-month basis in terms of monthly installments and the sort. And this is how much it will cost to insure it with Naked. I mean, I've heard people telling me what amazing stories they have of Naked. So, I mean, you can literally get a quote in 90 seconds, if not even less. I mean, I've gotten a quote in like a minute and 15 seconds, which is quite amazing. And it's so easy. I mean, you literally just put in all your details, the whole the system and everything. The user interface is really quite simple, easy to understand. And I mean, they just ask you a bunch of questions and that's it. You've got a quote. And you guys saw my quote for this car. Why don't you check out how much it'll cost to insure your car? You might even save a couple of $100, if not more. So yeah, check them out. Link in my bio. And if you're willing or keen to go on a holiday with 100,000 rand, courtesy of Naked, anywhere in the world, and I mean anywhere, then click the same link in my bio or down below, and you can stand a chance to win a holiday. All you have to do is literally just get a quote. Like, literally, that's all. Just get a quote, and yeah, you're in the competition. Just like that. I mean, aren't we the gift that keeps giving? So yeah, guys, that's it from me. That's it from the VW Polo GTI. It's been an absolutely amazing month. Thank you to VW. Thank you to all of you guys who keep watching all my content. And of course, don't forget to comment down below. Tell me what else you'd like to see. Tell me what you thought of this video. And of course, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.